Welcome back to the University Report. I'm Brent Wetter, and joining me this evening is Sarah Miller, who is the Director of the Social Community here at University of Wisconsin-Platteville. Thank you for joining me today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
Now, your position was actually created this past year, correct?
This past fall, yep.
This past fall, and it has all to do with social media.
That's right.
Can you take us through kind of an overview of what a day for the social community director, what that would entail?
Sure. I get to my desk at about 7:30 in the morning, and I sit down immediately and boot up our Twitter account, boot up our Facebook account, see what's been happening in the last couple hours since I've checked it. Sometimes I check it overnight if I'm awake in the night. I make sure that there's nothing that needs my immediate response. Anything that's sending up red flags or questions that people have, that's my top priority. And then that takes me about half an hour to wade through all of that, and I go ahead and start monitoring all the keywords that I'm looking at online, because another part of my job is online reputation and brand management for the university. So I'm interested in what people are saying about the university, whether that's positive, negative, or neutral, and then I record that actually in a couple of various different spreadsheets. I use those to monitor the long-range reputation of the university, and I also have to give that information. I have to pass that up the ladder, as it were. So that takes most of my morning, and then I sit down and I start wading through my email, looking for requests from people. Lots of people send me information, things that they'd like to see communicated through the university channels online, and I basically set up a schedule for the following week to the best of my ability to see where we can fit those in, where they might fit with our different audiences, things like that. Then I start sending stuff out. You know, maybe that's a day I post to Facebook, maybe it's not. Maybe I pay more attention to our Twitter feed that day. I'll go in and see if anything's happening on LinkedIn and Foursquare. Of course, I have meetings because I also have a job on top of that. But that generally takes me about 4 to 5 hours a day, just wading through all of that, and is a way to kind of touch base on a daily basis with what we're doing as a university.
Awesome. Now, is your job focused more towards interacting with current students, or is it towards alumni and prospective students?
That's a great question. Actually, my job is to focus on all of those groups. My primary focus is our current students. Of course, the students on our campus that are here right now are the priority for the university, but increasingly we're paying greater attention to prospective students. One of the chancellor's goals has been to grow the university in a pretty quick manner, and social media is a really easy way to get in touch with students who are a little bit younger, maybe looking at which college to come to in the future. And obviously, as a system school, we compete with our own sister schools in the system and other schools in the tri-state area. So we always want to be keeping UW-Platteville top of mind for students who are considering where to go to school. Our alumni and our donor base are very important as well. I'm actually housed in the alumni services, even though I work for University and Communications, because I work so closely with Foundation and alumni that I need to be in their office every day to try to help them marketing their events, figuring out how they can best speak to their audience as well. So I would say that I probably have, my first priority is current students, but all of those groups are important.
Okay. Now, when you want to post something on any of the social media platforms that you use, do you have to go through certain channels? Do you have to show this to your superiors before it gets approved, or how does that work?
No, it's really all me. And once in a while, I will, you know, if it's a touchy subject, I will bounce things off my boss just to make sure that I'm kind of on the same page as whatever the university's message is. Certainly for the, you know, touchier topics, I always want to get a second opinion on those things, but part of my job is to make those tough calls, and another part of my job is to figure out what to say every day. Okay. I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't up to me to try to figure out how to handle the flow of information. So usually it's just me.
Okay. Now, do you feel that the use of social media within UW-Platteville, or with any of the UW schools in general, how do you feel that is it changing the way the university is going to conduct business or just produce content, or how do you feel this trend is taking the university?
Well, of course, this is my job, but I also love what I do, so I think that social media is changing the world. I don't think it's going to change the world. I think it already has. And I think that in a university setting, certainly higher ed has lagged behind that trend a little bit, but we're catching up. Now, I don't mean to say that about UW-Platteville. I mean all universities in higher education. So certainly I think that it's very important to UW-Platteville, to the UW system, to any university out there as a tool and a resource, as a way to talk to students. In the past, we told students a lot of things, and we pushed our messages out at students. Social media represents an opportunity for us to have a conversation, and I think that's really valuable going forward, not just from a university standpoint, but from a student standpoint as well.
Awesome. Changing the way the university does business.
Absolutely.
One post at a time.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate your time coming in and speaking with us today, and we hope to hear about more of the exciting things, and even though you've been at this job for a short time. But stay tuned, because when we come back, I will take a look at your sports, weather, and question of the week.